Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We got some heavy weather moving in this morning. It's the first rain we've had in about 2 weeks. It's 100-degree temperature. So I ran out this morning and grabbed some field corn. As you can see how big these are. We're going to be shucking them out here in a minute because Wanda likes to put some up in a bag. We fry it in a skillet and use it. So we're going to show you all in a minute. Once we get this kind of shucked out, we'll show you what the ears look like on some of Danny corn. Alright, we're going to start shucking our corn this morning. Kind of get an idea and see what it looks like here. See if it's filled out or not. That's what I like about my corn. When I pull it off, the silks and everything come off with it. You end up with a perfect ear of corn. This is the corn that I raised here. Talking about some nice field corn. We end up with the ear of corn that's about 9 inches long. Okay, I want to show y'all if you can hear me over the rain. We're getting a heavy rainstorm here. I want to show y'all one of the diseases that hits corn down south here. When we start having a lot of heat and humidity, we have this fungus that actually gets in our corn here. It's a disease. As you can see, if I can get this open on up. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen down here. It's a fungus that grows on our corn here. And I usually don't use the ears that have that on it because I don't want to spread disease. And so I'll just probably feed this ear to the chickens and let them have it. And I'll usually take and break this off the top because it's an old smut. We call it smut here. You can see up inside it there, that old black smut that comes out in it. And I usually, once I take that out, I just feed these ears to the chicken because I don't even keep them. I don't try to save any seed from them or anything like that. Okay, here we have the 5-gallon bucket of corn that we just got through shucking. This will be going to the chickens for feed because the tops of the corn is in it and little giblets of corn is all in there, and gives the chicken something other to scratch around and feed on, and then the shucks will just decompose in the chicken yard and be put into the compost pile. Okay, we wanted to show y'all just a little bit of a clip of a little bit of field corn here. We're going to be cutting it off the cob. This field corn will be used to fry in a skillet, so we'll be showing you that in just a minute. Okay, now we've got all the corn shucked and silked, and what we're doing here is cutting it off the cob. We're doing this because this is the way we're going to fry it in the skillets. And for doing it and frying it in the skillets, you really can't use a corn cutter. I like to use a knife because when I use a knife, I can run it right along the edge of the cob. I can feel the grains being cut off right next to the cob because I like full grains when we're frying in the skillet. We're not trying to make it cream style. We're not looking for cream out of it. We're wanting the full kernel cut off. Okay, this is what the product looks like once it's been cut off the cob. You'll see there's full kernels of corn in it, and we're going to be putting this in a skillet and frying it.
Okay, we're going to be cooking the corn, the field corn that we cut off today. I've got my iron skillet and I've got butter. The butter is almost melted. I'm going to add the corn. And it's done turned milky in the bottom. That'll give it a little bit more water in it, but you don't want a lot. You want mainly butter and corn, and you want it on a medium to low heat because you want it to just kind of cook and fry a little. And we're going to stir it occasionally. And with field corn, you're still going to have a few corn silks. And in this pot, I have squash, about half a cup of water, and just a little slice of the onion cut up in it. I've added salt and pepper. And I'm going to let this stew down for a while. So as the corn heats, we'll just keep turning it in this butter for about 15 minutes, 20, something like that. We'll test it in about 15 to 20. Usually add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. And that's usually all I add to my corn. We'll check back in a little. Okay, so this corn has been cooking long enough. I've stirred it quite often. You don't want it to scorch on the bottom. And you can see the texture of it. You can still see the kernels. And all I've added is some butter, salt, and pepper to the corn. And this is about ready to eat, folks. That is what we call fried corn. And on a side note, our squash is about done. It's stewed down just a little, and we shall be ready to eat. Okay, here we have our fried corn, our stewed squash, and some chicken spaghetti. That's what's for supper on Deep South Homestead.